Alright, let me explain what it is that you're looking at. What we have here is Jack, right? Jack from Harvest Moon. He's holding up Princess Sabrina from Princess Debut. While this is happening, Peach is crying tears of joy while Otis, myself, and Maru from Stardew Valley celebrate. All while a very fat King Mycen from Fire Emblem chows down on a chicken leg. Most ambitious crossover my foot. Miitopia, man. Alright, so if you want to know how we got here, well, watch the video. Hello, and welcome to Patreon Picks. It's been a long while since I've done one of these episodes, but I've still accepted the money. But you're not paying for the episodes, you are paying for picks. And I've been transcribing every single pick. I'm gonna go ahead and add these into the bucket at the end of the episode so we can choose what we're gonna be doing next. Anyway, today's episode is on Miitopia. That's what the last card said, and well, what did I think of it? Well, short review. Miitopia is probably one of the best games I've ever played. Long review? Well, just sit on back. That's what this whole, over 20-minute thing is for. Miitopia! How does anyone talk about this game properly? It's honestly unlike anything I've ever played before, but it's pretty fun. First off, it's made by Nintendo and focuses heavily on Miis, but you're probably gonna guess that from the title. And you can either have Nintendo make some characters for you, or if you connect to the internet, have a majority of the characters be played by Rick from Rick and Morty. I'm me, Rick! Well, love a dub-dub! Unfortunately, I do not think that I am intellectual enough for that. Let's check what the back of the box says. Cast your friends and family as heroes, villains, and villagers in this quirky fantasy world. Friends and family, huh? Well, I don't really have any of those. But I do have this. It's a channel banner. Over the past 4 years, if there was a character that I've liked from a game, I went ahead and put them up here, and this is a fantastic list. So before I started the game, I went and made every single one of them. Well, there were some QR codes online, but I made a majority of them. So this is me, Chippy. Pretty accurate, right? Dumb mustache and all. So I'm walking by, and then I see a butterfly with eyeballs on it, and I get freaked out and just run to the nearby town and explain what I witnessed to Master Chief. But he doesn't really believe me. I try to talk to the other members of the town, but soon we are beset upon by Dog Lord King DDD, and he steals tons of the faces, and he only leaves behind distraught Mother Shinobi, Sonic, and the dubious Mayor Sergeant Hawk. Okay, this is actually terrifying. Without a face, you would die pretty fast. You don't have no mouth or a nose. You would suffocate. Okay, hold on, dude. Okay, I'm gonna perform a tracheotomy. But as you may have guessed, this isn't. Well, it's not exactly the most realistic game. So I head out to rescue people's faces, or as you might say, save face. So I run into Child Anne's face, and it's been attached to a slime. Then the voice of God speaks to me and offers me a job. Like an RPG job, you know, a class. They got the regular ones, you know, warrior, mage, thief, cleric, but they also have pop star, female pop star, and since I was streaming the first few hours of this game, I let them peer pressure me into choosing it. But it's okay because
I look good in a tutu.
Then I beat the snot out of that slime, and then Anne's face flies back to her body. And after that, I head over to an inn, and then Otis from Owlboy comes and joins my team. Soon after that, I also get Maru from Stardew Valley, and we even get Super Mario Bros. 2 Peach. Specifically the Super Mario Bros. 2 one, and not this dang bimbo. Yeah, that's the one. Of course, I still did put her as an airhead. And there's a thing to talk about, personality types. Every single time you get a team member, you can give them a personality type, and they don't change too much, but they do add a little bit of variety to battles, with all these quirks going around. But cool is certainly better than all of them. Energetic will cause you to trip and lose HP sometimes, and occasionally airheads will attack the wrong target. And the cautious Miis will sometimes use their allies as shields. Kind is sort of okay because it will occasionally offer an enemy the chance to flee, which I do not like because they flee with the face still attached. Thanks, Peep and me. Because of your kindness, someone in the world just lost their eyeballs and will never see their child's smiling face again. So kind. Now, the best trait is cool because it is one of the few personalities that will let you get a critical hit with no drawback. And occasionally, they will just straight up dodge attacks. So, using my crack team of soldiers, we destroy all the monsters and save Yorda and Amy's face as well. Then we head back to town to get praises and money for our good deeds. As well as a letter from the mayor so that we may go see the king of this land, Mycen. But on our way to the castle, we are attacked by King Dedede while we're out in the open! But before he can slay us, the great sage, Dolphin Ma, saves us. Y'all know Dolphin Ma, right? From Star Tropics? Nintendo's beloved franchise, Star Tropics? Ah well, she uses her magic to drive off the Dark Lord, and we continue on to the castle. But on our way there, we stopped into the inn, and I want to talk about the inns, because you'll probably stop here hundreds of times after every 5 battles or so. Here, your characters will sleep for the night, heal up, and you can choose what rooms the Miis will sleep in. If they're in a room with a buddy, their friendship can go up. And with high enough friendship, they'll help each other in battles. Like telling them to watch out and avoid attacks, or teaming up to do even more damage, or going into vengeance mode after seeing their friend fall in battle. It's in the inn that you can feed your Miis food or buy them equipment. Well, they tell you what they want, and then you give them the money, and then they come back with the equipment. Or sometimes they mess up and buy candy or something. What? At HP, man! Super Mario Bros. Peach 2, you told me that you wanted the frilly chef uniform. That's what you wanted. How did you... Did the HP Banana Girl have really pretty eyes or something? Whatever, give me the rest of the money back. We can try again in another 3 days when you decide you want clothes again. Now let's talk about the food. I really like this part of the game. So you get food depending on what monsters you killed during battle, like butterfly jelly and banshee tears, goblin ham. Wait, what the heck? Those goblins look sentient. They look like they have a language and a culture. Could you eat something that you could have a conversation with? More messed up than that. Mummy jerky. Hey, what are mummies made of? Yeah, that's what I thought. Bottoms up! Oh, yeah, also, on a side note, the word hell is used in a Nintendo-licensed E-rated game. Just wanted to say that. Feeding these food can eventually result in a stat increase, and if you feed them food that they like, it gives even more of a boost. But I find it funny when you have food that they hate. It looks like true fear. Cotton candy! No, please don't make me eat that, please. No, not the cotton candy. In addition to that, there's also the arcade where you can spend tickets to play games. You get these tickets in Overworld chests, the Quizmaster, and the Nintendo Fan. She'll give you some tickets if you can scan in some amiibo. But where am I going to find amiibos at this late hour? The games on display are rock, paper, scissors with a robot that I swear cheats, or a roulette wheel where you can win free equipment, foods, something terrible, or a jaunt. The jaunt is a great use of ludonarrative dissonance. Apparently, there's a great threat to the world, but 2 of the characters can go and take a day or 2 to go on a cruise in the middle of the ocean. I love it. I love all of the humor in this game. It's honestly one of the funniest games I've ever played. The writing is so good. Anyway, the cruise greatly raises the friendship, but also if you have characters staying in the same room, there will be occasional cutscenes where random events happen that will also raise the friendship.
Time for a new look. Huh? I'll be back in a sec. Ta-da!
Have you seen a prank, please?
Alright, now back to the story. We go and see King Mycen and ooh, he is hefty. And he's also got a great theme song. Oh, I don't really have anywhere to add this in this script, but I cannot have it be understated. The music is the best part of this already fantastic game. We tell him that there's a face stealer on the loose, but before he can even doubt us, his face gets jacked. But it's probably for the best. I think he could do without his mouth for a while. So, with the king's face gone, we head out to kill the monster it's attached to, and now it's time to talk about the combat of Miitopia. It is so unique! It's the typical turn-based RPG, but you only have direct control over your character. The other characters have minds of their own, and for the most part, they're really good. The downside is that their HP or MP drops below 50%. If this happens, they will waste their turn eating a banana. There were plenty of battles where I lost because instead of dealing the final blow, they were just eaten. Oh, I'm so glad that you just forgot recovered 30 HP, so now the team can take a cumulative 80 damage! That's great! But that's not the only way to heal. Sure, there are the chef and cleric classes, but God also gave me some sprinkles that can add HP and MP, and even bring someone back from the grave. And as you save more and more people, you'll get even more sprinkles, except the life sprinkles. Even after saving over 1,000 faces, I still only had one per battle. This game is pretty fantastic with its combat. For most of the game, it's pretty balanced. I lost a couple of battles, but it was easy to hop right back in and try again. And the battles where I used every last sprinkle felt amazing. So we kill the golem that had Mycen's face on it, and then we head back to the kingdom where we get a literal king's ransom. And then he has us talk to his daughter, Sabrina, from Princess Debut. Nobody played this game either, huh? We also meet her fiancé, Link 2, specifically the one from Adventure of Link. Not this dang bimbo. But he is a bit of a tool. When we talk to the princess, she asks us to go check on her childhood friend, Jack. So we head back to the first area. And it's here that Jack is trying to save Anne's face, despite the fact that he sucks at fighting. But he's doing it because he knows it's the right thing to do. After we save Anne's face for the second time, we take Jack back to the castle. After Jack makes it back to the castle and meets Link 2, there's a bit of a commotion, and it's suggested that I go get a calming fruit to help everyone relax. But when I return to the castle, Sabrina's face has been stolen, and this made Link 2 run and hide. But it made Jack run to the tower where Sabrina's face is being held to probably get killed. And you know, I don't care that this is simplistic storytelling, I think it's a pretty good story. I enjoyed it. So we go up and fight hard to save Sabrina's face, and when we return to the castle, Mycen is so impressed with Jack's heroism that he decides that Jack is allowed to marry Sabrina. And that, my dear child, is how we got this picture. And that is the story of the first world, and there are still like 7 or 8 more worlds, and since we're already 12 minutes in, I'm just gonna give you the cliff notes for each world. So one of the most cinematically heroic things ever happened. Otis went and he saved everybody on the team by taking 3 hits in a row, but it cost him all of his HP. This caused Super Mario Bros. 2 Peach to lose herself with rage, and she went and avenged him. Then, before we entered the second world, Maru, SMB2 Peach, and Otis all got stolen from me, and I lost all of my levels and got locked out of the female pop star class. Then I had to choose an all-new class, and this time I went with the cleric, because you can't have your healer going rogue. Also, every time you heal someone, you also get a little more friendship with the person you healed, and that's always a good thing. Alright, so in the new desert land, we run into new enemies, and we enter a new village with Mona, James from Fallout 3, Muffy, Kazooie, you know, all of the favorites. The villagers talk about how this area was once terrorized by an evil genie, Medley. Not to be confused with the bonus track from the Aladdin original Broadway cast album, Genie Medley.
I'm the genie.
No, that's actually a really good thing. I like that. Anyway, in the desert, I get 3 new friends to help me fight. I went with Captain Bird from Oblivion.
I'm Captain Bird.
Frost from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. And Cat from Star Fox 64.
Make way for Cat.
And I mostly chose Cat because there's a new class available called the Cat class. It just felt right. So, Dolphin Ma was looking for the lamp with Genie Medley stuck in it. But Link 2 found it first and let him, her free. And then the Dark Lord attacked the town and stole a bunch of faces, and we need to undo all of it. You see, the stolen faces are always stuck to monsters to control them, and by killing the monsters, we set the faces free. Not much to say, but remember how I said that Mona was a character in the village? Well, her face got stuck to this monster. It's so perfect I could cry. Well, we go and steal all the faces back, and then we need to challenge the genie. And the way to defeat the genie is by saying its name, and I find this weird, because is it supposed to be a challenge? I chose who the genie would be. I mean, and the Quizmaster. The Quizmaster often asks me who particular me's are, and I feel like it should be challenging, but since I customized every me here, it isn't. Who here is the Quizmaster? Oh, I don't know, maybe the one who's wearing a Quizmaster hat who issued the challenge? Anyway, when we're gonna trap Medley back in the lamp, she swears to change her ways, so we let her free. Now, with Medley reformed, I can go to the next world because she huffs and puffs and blows the blockage out of the way. Then we head to the next world, but then my friends get stolen, I get sent back to level 1, and even though there's like 30 characters on my channel banner, I'm kind of running low. I mean, I have a few left. But you know what I want to team up with now? I want to team up with some of my favorite anime characters. By the way, from this point on, the game is gorgeous. I mean, deserts and forests are done to death, but this forest of droplets is great. The graphic team did amazing on this game. Anyway, in this new land, I teamed up with Heemin and All Might, and I had to choose a new class, and I immediately went with the Princess class. And one of the princess's abilities is to be escorted to safety, and let me tell you, I didn't know this, but I've always wanted to be rescued by All Might, and this game let me live that fantasy. Also being rescued by Heemin. I think I wanted that more than the All Might thing, honestly. And that's another thing about this game. It is basically a fanfic developer. You don't need to sit down and write some weird self-insert fanfic. Let this game do it for you. Teaming up with your favorite anime and video game characters. I had a great time with this game. Okay, so in the Forest of Droplets, everyone is a fairy, and this town has protectors. The Fab Fairy Sisters, May, Saria, and Giovanni. May and Saria I felt were pretty good picks, but I would not suggest putting a male as the oldest Fab sister because she is hot.
Oh no, he's hot!
Why did I give it Giovanni's face? Yeah, no, the me will call you darling and sweetie, and it has a great set of legs. Do not make it a male character. She has purple hair. Do yourself a favor and make Camilla. Anyway, the two older sisters lost their faces, so May helps you save Saria, and then Saria helps you save Giovanni. And then after you have them all, they have to do a dance to open up a door for you. No, sexy Giovanni, don't dance like that! Anyway, when the door opens, the Dark Lord was waiting to attack, and then he steals May's face, along with many members of the town. And now sexy Giovanni joins my team to save the townsfolk and her sister. A weird thing is that some characters have assigned genders. I probably should have switched Giovanni and Medley. Eventually we saved all the faces, and then we gained Holo the Wise Wolf as an ally, and her class was the Imp. And two funny things happen with the Imp class. Imps don't have that great of attack, so one of their abilities is that they can poke an ally in the butt to make them attack instead. And I love it. I got poked in the butt, and before I attacked, I'm like, who did that? Oh, it was you. And then I attacked the enemy. The other funny thing is that there's this enemy that can taunt you to make you angry. Look right here. Angry with Twerky. And then Holo. Angry because angry. It's great. There are so many status effects in this game, and they're actually pretty easy to heal by sending your characters to the safe space. Yeah, I forgot to mention it, but you can take characters out of battle and put them in a safe space. They'll sacrifice their turn to heal some HP and some MP, and they'll heal any status effects they may have. Not that you necessarily want to heal the status effects, at least once, just see what happens, because as I mentioned, this is the funniest game, and seeing how they all play out is half the fun. One of my favorite attacks that gets done is this Sphinx head. It does an attack that I like to call cultural appropriation, making you into an offensive stereotype of an Egyptian.
Walk like an Egyptian.
And that's not the only cultural appropriation in this game. Both the chef and the princesses have costumes called Chinese uniform. Man, safe spaces and cultural appropriation! Is this game SJW propaganda? Well, it's either this game or this video. Anyway, we leave the forest and go to the lava world, and you want to guess what happened to my teammates? That's right, they all got stolen! But I did not get my job stolen. Oh no, I don't want to be a princess forever! Anyway, losing your allies is never that hard, because when you start a level, if you've been feeding your character at the inn every time, you should have all of the normal stats of a level 1, plus about 20 in each category. Not to mention, you still have all of the sprinkles that you needed to beat the last world's boss. And this world isn't much different. I soon find Dolphin Ma, who leads me to a crevice, where I find 3 of my old allies, but they're missing their faces. So Dolphin Ma teams up to me and we go kill some monsters to get their faces back, and then they rejoin me. And the rest of this world is basically saving all of the old allies until all 10 of us characters are safe in the inn. I only used 4. I don't have any idea why the game thought I would do anything besides this. I mean, it tries to stop us. There are some parts of the game where it splits up the party with falling rocks, and you have to use your other heroes. And there's also this mechanic where your characters will become afflicted with a cold, and you can't use them for a day or two. But honestly, I only used Mage Me, Warrior All Might, Cat, and me, the Cleric. Once you get all 10 characters, you can change your job class. And you also unlock the catalog that lets you buy all of your best armor if it's already unlocked. Really helping All Might get all of Captain Bird's warrior experience, and Me was able to get a copy of Maru's wizard clothing. So, after saving everyone, we fight up a dark tower. We fight monsters and a dragon, and at long last, we face the Dark Lord. But honestly, with the hyper sprinkles that we unlocked earlier in the dungeon, it was rather easy. And afterwards, DDD just kind of walks off, and then this evil spirit attacks me. But at the very last moment, Dolphin Ma pushes me out of the way, and she becomes the Darker Lord. And now the game speeds up drastically. You see, we go to this hub world with a bunch of adventurers, and we need to finish like 3 or 4 quests to be led to the Darker Lord's tower. And then, when we finally get there, we need to complete another 4 quests to get the 4 keys to open the lock. And so this was like 3 hours of grinding those 4 characters, and admittedly, you probably shouldn't have do that, for a couple of reasons. Number 1, you rob yourself of an experience. I mean, it's not fun to just completely steamroll easy enemies. Number 2 is a mechanic that's involved with the final boss. Now, the Darker Lord's Tower is another, I want to say, 3 hours, and it's pretty easy when you're completely overleveled. We refought some characters like Mycen and Medley, and even Hot Giovanni. And during the entire tower, Dark Lord DDD joins us. He wants to try and atone for his wrongs. Unfortunately, his attack only does 1 damage. But, to his credit, he did get 1 kill. So, after the tower, I have about 6 extra hours of training on my 4 people, making them about 14 levels higher than everyone else. And the final battle is pretty awesome. You need to split into 3 groups. 3 people will take the left hand, 3 people will take the right hand, and you'll have 4 people take on the body. And this is a tough fight, especially with what I did. 2 big dogs is not enough to beat the body. I thought I could have a left-hand leader and then a right-hand leader, and then have 2 good people to fight the body, but no. I needed a schlub squad to take on the left hand. And honestly, it took more than 1 attempt. But after they did take down the left hand, I had Cat take 2 of the new recruits and beat down the right hand. And then to fight the body, I had Me, All Might, and myself. Well, I guess we also had Holo, but she was only a level 10 and died almost instantly. But with 3 level 25s, we took down the boss lickety-split. Actually, that's not completely true. The last battle is very hard. I mean, I practically had to turn the battle into a college campus because I was using safe spaces every single turn. Zing! I also had to carefully allocate sprinkles because you use the same sprinkles for all 3 fights, and I needed to use heals to raise friendship, because when you reach a new friendship level, both characters get full heals. Oh, by the way, I had a pretty high friendship level with Me. But at long last, we saved Dolphin Ma, and then we learned what the darkness's motivation was. People didn't pay attention to him, so he tore off his own face, and then he decided to take everyone else's face. Okay. So, that's Miitopia. It took me well over 30 hours to beat this game, and I am so glad it did. It had a fun, inventive combat system, the jokes had me smiling from ear to ear, and speaking of ears, it had an amazing soundtrack. Honestly, this is such an amazing game. I'm glad that I'm doing the Patreon thing, because without it, I never would have picked up this game. So a very special thanks to you, Isaiah Thomas. Fantastic game, thanks for suggesting it. If any of these picks or even half as special as it, I will be very pleased. So let's go ahead and add those in, and I mean, do something like this. This is hard to, maybe this one. Yeah, this is hard to stir. See, like, I'm just kind of moving them around, but yeah. Let's put this one back in. And the pick. Just pick 3. Take a little trip onto Draken with Harold Webb. Draken. There are 3 K's in this? Oh wait, no, it's an H. Alright, see you on the next episode of Patreon Picks.